What's going on, y'all? Let's talk about that NLCS game. All right, so I caught the middle of it. I was still watching the Yankees versus Astros game, and that game ended at like midway through this game. See, I started watching it around the fifth inning. Brad Hand was pitching for the Phillies at that point. I think Manaya was pitching for the Padres around this time. All right, so I did gather some information. So it's like an announcer. He said that the beginning of the game, the Phillies fans were quiet because they were in Citizen Bank Stadium. They were quiet because the first 5 minutes of the game because um Falter, who had started the game, gave up like 4 runs. But like the next 15 minutes, they came alive again. Like they were alive after that. Because Reese Hoskins, who's the MVP of this game, he gives the city a shot in the arm. He gives the team a shot in the arm. He is a 2-run homer, his first of 2-run homers, because he nails a second one later on. He does that, and then after that, Harper, he drives in a run. So now Clevenger, he gives up 3, and then they took him out. So neither pitcher made it past for the first inning. After that, it's a bullpen game, and both teams they going back and forth at this point. So now it's 4-3, and then after that it's 4-4 because Harper drives in a run. That's the third run. And then after that, Stott drives in Harper because Harper doubled. And then I think Stott singled. It then brought in Harper, so the score was 4-4. And I think they brought in Martinez after him. Yeah, they brought in Martinez. He did okay. He did good damage to control. And then after they took out Martinez, this is where I started watching. Manaya was the starting pitcher. I mean, well, not the starting pitcher. He was the next to go. He was the reliever now. And that's when shit got cracking. That's when the game, really, kicked into another gear. Okay? So after this, because Brogdon came in after Falter, and Brogdon did okay. He didn't allow a single run. And then after Brogdon came in, Bellotti came in. He didn't allow a run. Okay? And then that's when I started watching the game. I started watching the game when Hand was the starting pitcher. Former Met, by the way. You're welcome, Philadelphia. But he comes in. And that's when he allowed that 2-run bomb to Juan Soto to make the game 6-4. Now, keep that in mind because this is the last time the Phillies scored. I mean, the Padres scored. It was all Phillies after that. Because right after that, Zach Eflin hits his second 2-run homer to tie the game. And that 2-run bomb that I'm talking about, that Juan Soto hit, that was the only 2 runs that bullpen allowed after giving up the 4 runs. Though, take the 4 runs away, dismiss that. After those 4 runs, that 2-run bomb was the only 2 runs that they gave up after that first inning. That was the only 2 runs by Brad Hand, and he still got the win, by the way. The only 2 runs, okay? That's what happened. And that's what happened. The only 2 runs. And after that, nothing. They didn't give up anything. They were not playing. You want to know how I know they weren't playing? Bruh, after they put Han in, then they put Syndergaard in. Syndergaard is not a reliever. He's a starting pitcher, but I know they do that in the postseason a lot. They sometimes put their starting pitchers in the relief role. I see that a lot, but they were not playing. But that does not change the fact that they was not playing. Because they put him in, then they put Robertson in, and then they put Eflin in. So after they took the starters out and just basically made it a bullpen game, when the Phillies took their starter out and made it a bullpen game, they only gave up 2 runs after that. When the Padres took out their starter and then just turned it into a bullpen game for them, just relying on their bullpen to win the game for them, they give up 7. They gave up 7. When it became a bullpen game, Phillies bullpen outweighed the Padres bullpen. And it's weird because I'm listening to the commentary last game, and I heard one of the commentators saying that the Padres had more depth pitching wise than the Phillies. I didn't see it this game. Maybe just a 1-game thing, but I definitely didn't see it this game. After Falter gave up those 4 runs, it was curtains. They only gave up 2 runs after that. That was that 2-run bomb. After that 2-run bomb, it was nothing. So they put a Syndergaard in, they put Robertson in, and they had Eflin close the game. And Eflin, I think it was a 1-2-3. I don't think he walked anyone. I don't think he allowed a hit. I think it was 1-2-3. The first three batters he faced, out. It was done after that. And he's a starting pitcher as well. After that, now let's go over to the Padres side. After Rhys Hoskins, he ties the game up with a 2-run homer. Then Harper drives in a run. Then Castellano drives in Harper, cause Harper he doubled and brought in a run because a runner was already on base. Then Castellano comes in and he drives in Harper. Now the score is 8-6. And then Schwarber comes in and he homers. I'm reading my notes. I'm sorry. I'm reading my notes. I was taking notes, trying to gather information just so I don't get off track. So Schwarber, he hits a home run, and now is 9-6. And then Realmuto, he hits the last homer for the Phillies. They have 4 homers this game. 4. Realmuto, he hits the last one. It makes it 10-6. And that was the score from the 7th inning on down. That was the score. Phillies, they did what they were supposed to do. And y'all got to give thanks to Rhys Hoskins. He brought life back to the city. Everyone for a second thought, okay, this is going to be a tied game going into game 5. And then he happened. He drove in 4 runs. He did what he was supposed to do. He's the MVP of this game. Him and that bullpen. But it's mostly him, though. He took care of business. And Manaea, he got the brunt of it. He gave up 5 of those runs. He got the brunt of it. I was just reading my notes. Like, if you see me going on to the side and, lip syncing, I'm just reading on to things. I'm just trying to, it's kind of hard. Like, when you're watching all these games, it's kind of hard to remember everything. It's kind of hard sometimes to remember everything when you're watching all these games, trying to gather all this information. It's kind of hard, so I got to take notes. Sometimes I just got to take notes. But yeah, that's what I saw. If we are 1-A, after today, we might see the Phillies versus Astros in the World Series. We might do it. I mean, it might happen. Will it happen tomorrow? Will these teams, will the Astros and Phillies advance, or will the Yankees and Padres live to fight another day? Will they do it? Will they won't? We'll see tomorrow. Stay tuned. Oh yeah. Both the Padres and Phillies game is at 1, and the Astros and Yankees game is at 7. So be there, watch it. Let's see what's going on. Stay tuned.